Wow, got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Crazy things happened. Somebody showed up on NXT. Big matches might be coming soon for WrestleMania. Looking for a lot of stuff there. Look who showed up. It's my counterpart. It's been a while. This is DA Wrestling. I'm Andrew. This is Doug. Let's get going. All right, on today's show, Ricky Starks is now Ricky Saints. Oba Femi versus Moose, maybe. Moose puts his NXT title, puts his X Division title on the line next week. The Hardys are coming back to WWE, but on NXT. All right, we're gonna discuss who we think is gonna be Jordan Grace's, who she can what title she's gonna go for, whether it be the North American title or the women's title in NXT. We're talking about possibly Fatu versus Solo Sikoa Mania. Also, maybe AJ Styles, his contract, plus him possibly facing Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. And we're going to talk Hangman and MJF going at it again, which was signed tonight at Revolution. Before that, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe down below. Though. We thank you for all the things you do for us. We thank you for everything that you guys support us with. Thank you very much. Let's click on the button right here. It should pop up right there. Thanks very much, guys. First, before we get into this, though, Doug, quickly, what's going on with you?
That might be the best intro I've ever heard. You killed that. I'm good, brother. I'm good, brother.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So, we're getting ready to do this really quickly. So, last night on NXT, we had the Ricky Starks signing. I didn't say his name, though. He never said his actual name. Obviously, after the contract was signed, which was interrupted by a few people like Wes Lee and Ethan Page, it looks like those two guys will probably be in Ricky's sights for the first little bit at least. Ricky Starks now, after he did a little pose, posted down, and they showed his name as Ricky Saints. So, I ask you, Douglas, what do you think of the name?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Saints. He's a New Orleans boy. Like
He is. Yeah. He was on Busted Open Radio. He said the Saints is like some of those things. Like some people are generally upset by it, but it makes sense. He did explain on Busted Open Radio that he is actually he is from New Orleans. He is a Saints guy, obviously. So you know what? It goes with it. I was though a little surprised though a little bit that they actually had him change his name. I figured maybe they would just keep the Ricky Starks thing. I mean, what the hey? But Sage is going to get a little bit used to for a little bit. I mean, obviously we'll all get used to it. Like, it's not the first time the WWE has done this. For God's sakes, we took Walter's name, crapped on it, called him Gunther, and now we just refer to him as Gunther all the time now. Although, less controversial, the game Gunther, because that was supposedly named after somebody in the past. Well, I can get into details about that. But we all got used to it. We all expressed ourselves on it. But you know what? Hey, we're all used to calling Walter Gunther now. And we're good with it.
there's no confusion with the name for me.
Fair
I
enough.
think it's
For some people, it might be confusion.
pretty, and I honestly don't give a fuck if you get mad at me if I mispronounce your favorite wrestler's name or someone's name. Like, go fuck yourself, because you have way too much time on your hands than to pick my ass apart.
Well, I mean, I still call the LA Chargers the San Diego Chargers at times. So they've been in LA now.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of them for like 20 years, and I still call them San Diego.
Exactly. So, folks, if you don't like it, it's okay. You'll get used to it. Everyone does. Moving on, though. So, Oba Femi comes out on the show to open the show to address the four people that beat the crap out of him after his match after Vengeance Day.
Oh yeah, what do we call them, these dudes?
They haven't come up with a name yet, but I refer to him as the knockoff Shield. So, Oba Femi is having is wanted these 4 guys to come out, very visibly angry. I mean, you pissed off Obafemi. He's a big dude. He's like the NXT version of Brock Lesnar, but it's scarier in a sense. And all of a sudden, Moose shows up. And Moose comes in the ring and he says, "This has to happen." We're getting Moose versus Obafemi. How do you feel about that?
The dream match I didn't know I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think the one when I was talking about this crossover, the one I thought about with Moose,
Yeah,
was like, I don't know, like a Roman.
Yeah.
Moose and Roman would have an epic battle.
Oh yeah. Moose, for a lot of people out there from who was in TNA, a lot of people know he's been like literally almost like the face of TNA for like years at this point. Years,
Yeah.
right? He is a former TNA champion. He is currently the X Division champion. Right?
Yeah, and he's gonna defend it next week against
Alexis King.
Lexus King.
Yeah.
Pillman's kid.
Yeah. So next week, since Moose was on there after he pretty much open challenged Obafemi there, they haven't decided whether that's going to be a title match or not for whatever title. But later on in the evening, he was walking in there, Alexis King, right, the current Heritage Cup champion, basically challenged Moose to a match next week in Cincinnati, Alexis King's hometown. If you guys don't know who Alexis King is, like I said, he is Brian Pillman Jr., Brian Pillman's son. And it's for the X Division title. So we're going to get a TNA X Division title championship match next week on NXT. This is great.
This crossover is incredible.
I mean, to be honest, Alexis King's not going to win. If anybody thinks that Alexis King's going to win, comment down below and let me tell me he's going to win. Love to hear your comments on it. I think Moose is going to probably beat the crap out of him, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a 50-50 battle.
Fair enough.
Because if you've ever watched a Moose match, you'll know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He'll get beaten down for half the match, and then he'll turn into Superman.
Yeah. But looking forward.
And then he beats you with that ungodly spear.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Moose next week. It's great to see this whole thing. Like, you know, a lot of people talked about before, but this crossover to NXT and who's going to go down, who's going to cross over. We've seen Cora Jade going over to TNA, right? She is set to face Shapovalova, I think her name is, for the TNA Women's title at some point down the line. Now, obviously, Cora Jade just, looking really good lately, right? She had that excellent performance at Vengeance Day in that 4-way match and nearly almost won a few times. So, I mean, I don't think she's going to win the TNA title, although I'll be interested to see if who or when that trigger's ever pulled. I'll be interested to see that.
Yeah. Oh, if you change titles on the other person's show.
Yeah. Just to see if that happens. I could see the women's title being it.
I think it would make for compelling television because it would be like what we all wanted the invasion to be.
Absolutely.
You're
not wrong there. So, speaking of invasion, it was not really an invasion. Last night, in a backstage segment, Faction gets interrupted by the Heritage Cup team, right? Specifically the 2 members. They kind of mock and say, hey, you can't have a title shot, right? You talk about one, but he doesn't have to give you one. And their response was, we're not here to talk about you. We're not here to challenge you. They want to challenge the TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, which the Hardys accepted.
Yes.
So next week on NXT in Cincinnati, The Hardys are going to be on in the WWE ring, mind you, just NXT ring, next week to defend the TNA titles.
Triple H had a scheduled tweet ready for Matt Hardy
Well, how was that?
accepting the challenge.
Yeah. You excited about this one or what?
Yes, and I will do my best to watch NXT next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to seeing the Hardys back in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be interested to see about the reception. I'm sure it'll be a massively huge one, like which we haven't seen. Like we actually haven't seen since they returned for WrestleMania in Florida, in Orlando years ago.
No, it won't be that big, but it'll be a good reception.
Absolutely.
Um, no, the fact that the Hardys are still killing it in 2025,
Yeah.
and I literally remember being 8 years old watching these guys at No Mercy 99,
Yep. Looking
and they're
forward to it.
still doing it at a high level.
Absolutely.
Like, what more could you ask for? These dudes are like in their late 40s.
Yeah, definitely late 40s. Yeah, definitely late 40s.
Yeah,
They haven't quite hit that 50 mark yet, but they're still out there putting on hell of a shows. But then again, we'll talk about another 40-year-old soon. He's in his late 40s. But Jordan Grace, so let's move on to Jordan Grace though. So Jordan Grace made her, let's say, re-debut on NXT, right? In her first match on NXT, officially as part of the WWE team, NXT brand for the time being. Now, obviously, I've said before on past episodes here, past shows, that obviously her term in NXT isn't going to be a very long one. It's going to be temporary for the most part, as long as if they're acclimated to the WWE way or whatever. But she did team with my favorite, my personal favorite there, Stephanie Vakir, the Women's North American Champion, and Julia, the NXT Women's Champion, against Fatal Attraction. That's it,
yeah.
right? Jordan Grace obviously got the win. Team. And she stood in between both women who held up their titles. Now, my question to you, Douglas, is who do you think that Jordan Grace is going to challenge? Because you know that's going to happen. Stephanie Vakir or Julia? Who do you think's going to go?
She'll go after Vicure because what she'll do is she'll just try and take everything as quick as possible.
Yep.
So like imagine she beats Vicure and then like two or the next whatever special NXT thing.
Well, the next one would be Stand
She
Deliver.
beats,
That's
she
WrestleMania
beats,
weekend
right.
or WrestleMania week.
Yeah, it's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
It's the day of WrestleMania, actually.
Yeah, it's the daytime too. So
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
So weird. It's a lot of wrestling in one day.
That is a lot of wrestling in one
I
day.
mean, I'm definitely going to be off and watch that, but it's a lot of wrestling in one day.
Well, that's why I always watch Stand and Deliver like after the fact. I just watch it on demand, bro.
Fair enough. Well, now we have you go on Netflix. You can watch whenever you want. Literally,
I used to do that on Sportsnet too.
yeah, it's awesome. Um, so you think she got to Fakir?
I think she can go after Vicure because like I truly believe like if Jordan Grace would be probably one of the best of all time when she's done in WWE. That's how good I think she is. And like this would make a great like highlight package. Down in NXT, the two best women wrestlers in the world, take their titles.
So you're saying
And
she's gonna be like a belt collector in NXT, like winning both titles?
yeah,
Could see it
yeah,
happen.
belt collector Jordan, yeah, yeah, belt collector Jordan Grace.
I mean, it's possible. We'll see what happens there, but I'm gonna be partially more. I think she can go after Julia, not Stephanie Bakir. But we'll find out because I don't.
It also puts more importance on the North American title. You want to get that title over.
Stephanie Bakir's been put that title. Well, so far she had a huge reception with the whole thing. A lot of people are very happy that she is the women's title over Fallon Henley. But I think Fallon Henley's that fatal attraction. Actually, I think I said it on the last episode too. I think JC Jane needs to leave NXT and go up to the main roster and do something else. So
I don't know. I've just never been into JCJ.
that's fair. I'm just saying she's been in NXT for quite a while.
Exactly.
All right.
There might be a reason.
That's true. But then again, it could be lots of things. But let's go talk about something exciting that I know you might get a chubby for. Uh, Jacob Fatu is rumored to be facing Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania this year, 41. What do you think about that?
I think after SmackDown, after watching SmackDown, I think like that's probably gonna happen.
Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to. I want to see Jacob Fatu wrestle anybody. Now I have my picks on who I want Jacob Fatu to wrestle. I made mentioning to you a couple days ago that Jacob Fatu possibly versus Obafemi would be a lovely thing to see.
Yeah, don't tease me like that.
Yeah, that looks fantastic. Think about Obafemi versus Jacob Fatu.
That would be a car crash of epic proportions.
It'd be fantastic. I mean, did you see what he did in that triple threat match against Damian Priest? And like that's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like he's
And Braun.
yeah, he's got to be you almost want to argue that he's the most skilled wrestler in the entire family, but he's not. Like you almost want to argue it.
No, he just moves different.
Yeah, like for a
Like
guy
that's
who's
that's the thing.
like for his size, he moves like a cruiserweight.
Exactly.
He moves like a cruiserweight. Like, it's
Yeah.
disgusting.
There's only
Oh.
a handful of dudes that have ever been that.
But I gotta tell you though,
Bam
his
Bam.
social media times doesn't do him justice because he's one of like the nicest guys out there. You see him playing with like kids and stuff like that, like sometimes his social media posts and stuff like that, or just taking pictures with people. One of the nicest people out there. Scary individual out there wrestling. Let's move on to a fan favorite between us, though, too. Now, I made mention about AJ Styles last week. In the last episode about AJ Styles being attacked by Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker spearing the crap out of Dom Dom and just breaking him in two like he did ISO Speed. Still don't know who the hell that is. But anyway, all I know is he got flattened by Braun Breaker. Rumor is right now, AJ Styles is set to face Braun Breaker at possibly WrestleMania for the IC title. Funny part about this though is now AJ Styles' contract was apparently supposed to be up in a few months, but due to the fact they had an injury, it looks like they've added injury time to this current contract. Now they're saying that AJ Styles might still resign maybe for one more year with WWE, right? You see AJ Styles winning the IC title and becoming a full-out Grand Slam champion?
That was a very long setup to just ask me that question.
Yeah, I know, eh? Lots going on there, right? Especially at 47.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't really give a shit about his contract. If he's done, he's done.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's in a position where he can go rest comfortably for the next 45, 50 years.
Oh yeah, I mean everything's set up for him now at this point.
Exactly. So, I mean, hope he has some cool matches on the way out. Maybe do a quick TNA stop.
Yeah. I mean, they were really pushing. I did say on the
Borrow him for
episode.
a Slammiversary.
I did say on our last episode that AJ Styles looked like they might have started teasing the TNA stuff because they really put out the fact that he was a TNA champion and all this other stuff. So there's a possibility they might see AJ go to TNA maybe for a small stint.
I
Not
could see him
long,
going down. I
small.
could see him going down there and going after Nemeth.
Yeah. Right. I would like to see him versus Moose. You know.
AJ Moose would be fun.
Yeah. Absolutely, it would be. AJ
A-
versus
AJ moves really well with big guys.
right. AJ versus Joe Hendry.
Eh,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like Joe Hendry's cool, but uh, you know, the work. It's like
Fair. It's
Josh Alexander's going to AEW.
yep. Josh Alexander. The word is that he is going to go to AEW because it's, I guess, better money or less dates or one of those things. Or
Again, how people are compensated for what they're doing or decisions they're making. Who am I to give a shit?
the question is though, is Josh Alexander going to use this to get over in AEW to eventually move to WWE?
No, because if he was going to go to WWE, he would have done it now.
Hmm. To be continued at a later date. All right, last thing, guys. So tonight on AEW Dynamite, right? It was announced that Hangman Page versus MJF round 3 will be going to AEW Revolution. Now, have you seen the promos for this stuff? It's been pretty intense between MJF, and Hangman Page. Arguably the two, let's say, let's call them pillars. We'll call them actual pillars at this point, right? Of the actual AEW, what it is.
It's MJF, Sammy Guevara, Britt Baker,
Sam Guevara's in the Ring of Honor now, and Britt
I
Baker's
know,
not even
and
considered
and
anymore.
Darby Allin.
It's not even considered anymore.
Those are the four pillars.
Yeah, not really.
I know,
I'll stick
I
with
know.
Darby.
Like
That's what they said. That was what they said 2 years
I
ago.
know, but that was like literally we all consensually agreed. Like the last like the first like 4 years was held up by like those four people.
Let's say it's changed now. Well, basically gone. So anyway, you hear about these things going on, right? What do you think about this? There, right? Like they're both like very much a match of peace for the most part, right? It's gonna be a big match here. It could very well determine who's gonna be the next title challenger.
We're about to get Stone Cold Adam Page.
Stone Cold Adam Page.
Yeah, like he's gonna be literally the like if everyone remembers like the reactions he was getting in like 2021,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be like that again.
Fair enough.
His humanity's starting to come back.
Is it though?
Yep.
Is it?
Again, when
We'll
Christopher Daniels told him
yeah.
when Christopher Daniels told him that he retired because of him, like that was the beginning of the shift.
Hmm.
Because he took out his mentor.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There you
And
go.
folks, that is it for ADA Wrestling. We'll leave you on that. I'm gonna leave you on this though. Hangman Page with MJF will probably be one of the best matches of the card, unless Osprey's there, right? Which he probably will be. And I'm gonna I think MJF's gonna win. But anyway,
I think Hangman's going to beat him. MJF won last time, I think.
they did. How do you get match a piece? Anyway, guys, that's it for DA Wrestling here. We thank you very much for everything. Thanks for the episode here. Make sure you like, share, subscribe down below there, friends, right? Make sure you follow us there on Podbean, Spotify, as well as this YouTube channel right here. Socials are AMP1982, DA Wrestling, or DA Sports Pod, whichever one you want to choose to put in there. This is D Lions 1991. Thank you, Doug, for coming back on the show there. It's been a bit. Nice to have you on here.
I'll try to be more consistent.
Do what you can, sir. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great one. Later.